All right, welcome back. We're getting into game number 3. It's tied up 1-1, and we got ourselves a very particularly interesting ace match on our hands. In the top right of Ruins of Ceres, it's going to be the blue Terran player, Botvinnik.
In the bottom left, as the pink Protoss, it's Harstem.
I loved all the hashtag Year of Harstems that started coming out towards the end of that game. That was an intense TvP. We have not seen a lot of long games in Legacy, and the few times we do, it's from the best players in the best situations. Snoot versus Firecake resulted in Ultralisk versus Ultralisk. Beastie Cutie versus Sort of was like late game, literally every base mined out on Orena. I love those sort of games, and I'm really excited because, okay, yeah, it's one hand I'm a disgusting player, likes long games, sure. But only the best players who are playing that well can actually get that far into a game. Unless you're like both Bronze League or something, but that's a whole nother
Oh,
can
you're
of
about to
worms.
say.
Like,
Hold on there.
This is not seen often, and for that reason alone, I have my respect for Botvinnik highly elevated, obviously, but really also loving watching Harstem take that second game back.
Yeah, that was impressive. I had asked Harstem the third map, and he just like replied to me with like, "Jesus, fucking game, so intense." Like
Third
one
map,
word at a
please.
time.
Jesus. Well, I don't know the Jesus map. Is it in the Blizzard map?
So yeah, he was definitely feeling the adrenaline there. We don't know Botvinnik as much, that's very clear. But the very beginning of the first game, we're just like, I don't know if he's going to win a game. But he is definitely more impressive than we've seen in the past because we have cast him before. Never got really
Yeah.
buddy with him, but we've cast him before and be like, okay, he's a decent Terran, like great, we love Terrans. But now he's like elevated to a whole other level, and if he does qualify for the tournaments, I'm really excited to see what he can do against everyone else, the Koreans and the North Americans, and the rest of the Europeans.
Yeah. Updates on the other side of the bracket, by the way. The other qualifier match has been set. It's Bly versus a Laser. So Bly did manage to knock out Lambo. So once again, after this best of 3 is concluded, we will have a ZVZ to determine the other qualifier through. At this stage, it could go either way, though. One Terran, one Protoss, I don't know which, but at least one Zerg is guaranteed into our qualifiers, our group stages from this qualifier.
Oh. Okay, Harstem bringing out the Stargate this game. He has been going for that Warp Prism that took a bit of a wind-up to actually do some damage, but ended up being very key in winning that last game. He did showcase some good Oracle control earlier on in the tournaments that really actually helped him versus Nurchio. That's who it was. It's good to see the same type of control.
One of the things we didn't talk too much on, and I'm going to bring up now, not just because you're like, oh my god, boring early game, but something to look out for perhaps this game. We often talk times about how players can get a bad case of tunnel vision. You kind of like, okay, I've got to focus so hard on the Marine drop, so I need Stalkers, not thinking about things like Dark Templar. The fact that Harstem, and it was really late too, decided to take a second, observe like, oh wait, detection's like really lax, DTs would be great here, and throw that Dark Shrine down so late, that was really impressive to me.
Yeah. That probably saved the game when you consider like all of that without any DTs, and Botvinnik, just barely pushes past the army, just barely has enough mining, and doesn't actually lose an orbital, too at the end right there. But that Reaper barely surviving, thank God for the adept slow adept attack, is once again going for the Cyclone opener, this is what he did in that first game, and it's going to be helpful against whatever pops out of this Stargate.
So, I saw some murmurs in chat, people demanding a Rifkin versus Ting Jesse show match.
Oh, God.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I wouldn't want to make him feel too bad about losing, you know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure you'd win, but it'd be more interesting if I got to train him beforehand.
That would be an amazing, behind-the-scenes series, like Rifkin versus
Look, this is
Ting,
what Rifkin's gonna do.
But it's actually 8 weeks from now, not like today. Well, he's gotta go kick Mana's ass first, if I understand right. But while this went on, sorry, we missed this. We had an Oracle actually get through to the main and kill about 6 workers. I wasn't looking because I saw the Marine count and just assumed this would be more than enough to handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harstem, I guess, with the Reaper being distracted and focusing the attention to Botvinnik, gets 6 SCV kills. That's actually really good considering he's placing down his third while we're talking about this and already ahead in workers, already ahead in income. This is going to play out very nicely for him.
Yep. So, I do believe this is a lot more like that first game build. We got the third CC already about done, so it's going to match Harstem's third pretty closely, close enough, you know. And we're gonna have probably another big bio push. That showcase, like that was what actually started Botvinnik's kind of like, oh my god, maybe we actually can reconsider this guy because he was so fearless with his army. It's actually probably what killed a couple of those pushes in the last game was that he was so fearless he forgot to scan or couldn't scan in most cases because all the orbitals are dead. He kept running into a bunch of storms. Like that last fight when he just ran through the storms, that's when you bring up bravery as another word for courage.
Well,
or another word for
stupid.
Stupidity.
I feel like at that point though, that wasn't so much stupidity. That was table flipping. I'm done with this. You know, like let's be honest. Harstem had an insane amount of storms, and he always seemed to have 4 in his back pocket, and that's not easy to do, and that's not easy to deal with. At some point, I guarantee you, Botvinnik, in whatever language he speaks, is just going like, "I thought I killed all the fucking Templar. How is there still more?"
Yeah. We had limited interaction with storms for a lot of Legacy the Void. You know, there was the Adepts, overpowered, not overpowered. You had Disruptors being the main splash units. Even Colossus tried to make a comeback and apparently disappeared again. They went back to Ira, I don't know. But then Storm's coming back. You do have to remember as a Terran, all of those times you played against Storm and Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, where, yeah, they'd always have one in their back pocket. Like, always assume that there's a storm ready and just play it super safe.
Yeah, I mean, the landscape of the game changed a lot, so a lot of those old standards are no longer really looked on. Bunjaski in chat's asking, what happens to the loser of this? There is a loser's bracket to fall on. So Harstem, Botvinnik, they can still absolutely fight for a chance to qualify through, but there's only 1 spot available for the loser's bracket and 2 for the winners.
Where are you going, Medivacs?
They're chasing the oracles, don't you know? They got all them.
Did they? They must have actually rallied on top of me.
Yeah, something weird like that.
So
Maybe
cool.
he thought he picked up the Marines, but he didn't, and that just got really awkward. He's like, "Oh yeah. No, I meant to do that. I was scouting. I was scouting.
Totally.
Definitely scouting."
Yep. So Harstem goes for that double forge. It seems to be just his reaction if he sees that Botvinnik goes for the third. And in a way that makes sense, right? Because they're not going to be attacking you too soon with too much army. You can probably get away with the initial 1-1. But it was a definite, like, army cut in that first game on Orbital Shipyard. You know, he had 1-1, but he also didn't have that good of an army. So it is still a little scary. It's a very similar looking push, but I think Harstem has is much better set up for it because we didn't see Liberators.
Oh, and he gets one of Medevac to start off the fight for free. That's a great start to this. Stim's done though in a big concave. That Guardian Shield comes in a little bit late, but the Guardian Shield reducing a lot of this Marine damage early on. Harstem's going to easily push this back. And once again, the Medevacs are exposed. Botvinnik, don't let us hype you up and then do this, man.
Yeah. Not the worst engagement in the middle of the map, but it is very scary as you know that now they're on the warpath. And they could have a War Prism coming with this as well. And with instant reinforcements, you're only just recently getting that production up. You're recently adding in those Widow Mines and Marauders. So it is a scary time right now. He's probably considering, do I have to pull the SCVs? So +1 armor isn't done either, so Harstem still has that upgrade advantage. War Prism's there. This is very dangerous for Botvinnik.
What am I? Ooh, takes that hit.
Did he have like a large army rallied in the main? The rest of their army come down. Doesn't look so bad anymore.
Oh, Stim's right through those force fields though. It's not gonna be so bad. Harstem was hoping he'd run away. Guardian Shield on the right side proving just. You look at the 2 army fights, right? The Guardian Shield shows just how good of damage it reduces because the left side died off while the right side stayed strong. Regardless, though, Harstem still has a way big army supply lead. He's got an upgrade lead. That +1 armor doesn't finish for Botvinnik until everything's already dead. The Medevacs can be focused down very easily here. GG. Harstem, ladies and gentlemen, going to be our first player qualified through. Nice. Or no, excuse me, I should say safe.
Are they still doing